Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today, your primetime destination news, newsmakers talking points. The big talking point is coming on that big question. Instant justice, is that the only way to deal with rape cases? Sexual assault, should it lead to short-circuiting of judicial processes? Is the judicial system too slow in dealing with such cases? Are fast-track courts really delivering? Also, a MeToo allegation that has stunned the Malayalam film industry, Kerala and the film industry across the country. We'll tell you more with a newsmaker tonight. But first tonight, the very latest coming in from Kolkata, where the political temperature has escalated ahead of what is being described as the Nabarna Abhijan March in Kolkata tomorrow by a students' body, but backed by the BJP. They intend to march towards the state secretariat. Security has been tightened in the Bengal capital with over 6,000 security personnel deployed. Meanwhile, India today has got the inside track on the rape accused lie detector test. The alleged rapist Sanjay Roy has confirmed that yes, he did rape Abhaya when she was unconscious and then murdered her. The rapist killer then hid in a policeman's house after the crime. So that coming up in that polygraph test. I'm now joined by Indrajit Kundu on the very latest on both those questions. Indrajit, first to what we've just heard about the polygraph test, it seems to confirm what many have believed, that this was an act committed by Sanjay Roy. He's the one who committed the rape and the murder.
Well, that's right. This seemed to confirm what the Kolkata police had initially stated in their investigation. Remember, Sanjay Roy is the prime accused, and he had confessed to the Kolkata police at what the Kolkata police had stated on record. And now, with the polygraph test being conducted by the CBI, it reconfirms what was stated earlier, that he is the main, perpetrator of the crime. However, it's been more than a week that has passed, but no further leads have emerged from the CBI probe, and that's precisely why polygraph test has been conducted on Sanjay Roy, Sandeep Ghosh, 4 other interns who were present on that fateful night, along with the victim and a volunteer. And the police is and the CBI, in fact, is trying to sift through the details that are emerging, because their main contention at this point in time is to figure out whether or not there was any whether they are lying.
The other question, of course, other question is the security tomorrow. We are told that there are marches planned towards the state secretariat, and we are told as many as 6,000 policemen with drones and water cannons have surrounded that area. So are there fears of possible violence? Why is it that this large security presence now outside the state secretariat?
Well, that's right. This is a political, call that has been given to march to the state secretariat, though it is being called a students' protest, but it has come from an organization which barely anybody knows in West Bengal. Paschim Bongo Chhatro, is a group which has called for this, and clearly what has emerged all through the day is that it's clearly backed by the BJP. And a lot of the volunteers who have called for this march, they are BJP activists, is what has come in the play, and their images have gone viral on social media. In fact, the Kolkata police today did a press conference saying that they have links to the BJP. The state BJP president officially has distanced themselves. However, they've lent support to the agitation that has been organized for tomorrow. But the Kolkata police has made foolproof security arrangements, because they don't want a repeat of what had earlier happened during an officially BJP agitation which had called for march to the state secretariat a few years back.
Okay, let's leave it there. Indrajit Kundu joining us with the very latest on what's been happening in Kolkata. That polygraph test suggesting that the rapist killer has admitted to his crime there in Kolkata. Now, across Bengal, Maharashtra, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, in the last week, cases of violent crimes against women have ignited widespread outrage. The The brutal assault of a 31-year-old doctor in a Kolkata government hospital, the rape of children or sexual assault of children in Badlapur and Nagaon in Assam have intensified calls for justice. All of this happening with the Assam police allegedly claiming that one of the suspects in a gang rape case there died when he was trying to escape from police custody and jumped into a pond. Is this instant justice being practiced? Or should rape cases go through fast-track courts? Is our justice system much too slow when it comes to rape cases? All these questions still hang in the air. It's our top focus tonight.
Angry citizens on the street demanding justice for rape victims. Bengal, Maharashtra and Assam erupted last week with calls for swift punishment for rapists who brutalized a trainee doctor in Kolkata, kindergarten kids in Badlapur and school kid in Nagaon. In Assam, one of the suspects died in custody soon after his arrest.
আমাৰ তেওঁ ফুটফুচ কৰাৰ পিছত আৰু তেওঁ যিটো আমাৰ সিন অফ ক্ৰাইম য'ত ঘটনাটো হৈছিল সেইটো দেখুৱাবলৈ তেওঁক লৈ যোৱা হৈছিলে তেনেতে তেওঁ আমাৰ চিপাহীটোৰ পৰা হেণ্ডকাপৰ ৰছীডাল পটকে টানি তেওঁ পলাবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰে আৰু পানী যিহেতু তাত পুখুৰী আছে পুখুৰীত পৰে লগে লগে আমি কৰ্ডন কৰোঁ কৰ্ডন কৰাৰ পিছত SDRFক খবৰ দিয়া হয় SDRF আহে আহি পেলাই তাত চাৰ্চ কৰাৰ পিছত তেখেতৰ মৃতদেহটো আমি পালোঁ
Custodial deaths of rape suspects is not new. And as the crime itself is so heinous, public and politicians often do not question it. In 2019, 4 suspects arrested for the rape and murder of a veterinary doctor in Hyderabad were killed in an encounter a week after the crime. The police personnel involved in the encounter were fated by people. This time in Bengal too, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, faced with rising public anger, had called for the hanging of the suspects by August 18, within 10 days of the crime.
এই কেসগুলো আমি মনে করি যারা করেন ইটস এ বিগ এন্ড বিগ কি বলবো আমি জানি না এক্সট্রা অর্ডিনারি ক্রিমিনাল ইটস এ ক্রাইম বিগ ক্রাইম এর কোনো শাস্তিতে লাভ নেই একটাই শাস্তি ফাঁসি দিয়ে দাও
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday said he understood people's pain on sexual assault of women.
आज देश का कोई भी राज्य हो अपनी बहनों बेटियों की पीड़ा को उनके गुस्से को मैं समझ रहा हूं मैं एक बार फिर देश के हर राजनीतिक दल से कहूंगा हर राज्य सरकार से कहूंगा कि महिलाओं के खिलाफ अपराध अक्षम्य पाप है दोषी कोई भी हो वो बचना नहीं चाहिए
The government over the years has tried speed up trials in rape cases. From October 2019, the centre has been implementing a scheme to set up fast-track courts for trial in rape cases. The Law Ministry this year, in reply to a question in the Lok Sabha, said 757 fast-track special courts have been set up in 30 states and union territories till December 2023, which have disposed of more than 214,000 cases. Incidentally, only 3 fast-track special courts are functional in West Bengal, according to the government statement. Bureau Report, India Today.
So how does one ensure justice for rape victims in a country where approximately 90 sexual assaults are taking place every day? Instant justice, is that the only way to deal with rapes? Is the judicial system far too slow? Are fast-track courts that the governments have set up at the centre and state simply not delivering? Joining me now is Rimjim Sinha. She's a social science researcher at Presidency University, Kolkata. I'll be joined by Tanveer Ahmed Mir, senior criminal lawyer. Miran Chadda Borwankar is former police commissioner of Pune. And Swapna Pramod Kode is advocate at the Mumbai High Court. I appreciate all of you joining us. I want to come to you, Miran Borwankar, first. Do you believe that instant justice is the way forward? There's already question marks over what happened in Assam. One of the suspects allegedly was trying to escape, fell into a pond and has died. Do you believe that short-circuiting the legal process, we saw it in Telangana a few years ago, for a rape victim was killed in an alleged encounter? Is encounter justice in rape cases acceptable to anyone?
No. To my mind, it is definitely not the solution. But I would like to quote a commissioner of police Mumbai when the organized criminals had gone out of control. He said, I know it is a wrong medicine, but that's the one which is working. So people are so sick of criminal justice system, which has a pendency of 50 million cases. When we should have 50 judges per million, we have 20. When we should have 220 constables, police officers per 1 lakh, we have 150 or 160. So when we are not investing, when we are going in for quick fix solutions, then naturally people have lost their patience and they are seeking instant justice.
No, is there pressure therefore on the police also? Is the police under pressure to deliver instant justice? As you said, there is anger among the public. The public is angry. The public has no problem, it seems, at least a large section of it has no problem with this idea of instant justice, even if it short circuits a legal process. You've got a chief minister of Bengal saying, hang the guilty. You've got other political leaders also talking about capital punishment in such cases. So you've got capital punishment pressure on one side, and you've got the police also under pressure to deliver some kind of instant justice.
Yeah, sure. I have had officers telling me, Madam, या केस से काहीच होणार नहीं. इस केस का एंड में कुछ नहीं होने वाला, उड़ा दो. So people and police both are losing patience. And let me tell you, the 6,000 deployment which we would have tomorrow for Bandobast in Kolkata should have been investigating house breakings, murders, rapes, cases of sexual assault. So a policeman is so overburdened with detection, prevention, and these law and order duties that yes, they have come to me and they have said, the only way is instant justice. It's so difficult for police leadership to control its own officers.
You're saying officers themselves are saying udalo. Is that what you're telling me? That officers say, sir, udalo?
This happened to me when I was joint CP crime. Yes, officers did say, Madam, काहीच होणार नाही ह्या केसेसच्या शेवटी सुटून जातील. Ma'am, nothing will happen. These accused will go free. The only way out is finish them off.
Okay. Let me come to Rimjim Sinha for a moment. Rimjim Sinha, you're hearing a voice of a police officer who says there is anger among public that puts pressure on police. Udalo. Kill, instant justice should be delivered. Forget about judicial processes that take too long. Would you support that in a case like Kolkata? Would you support capital punishment through a fast-track court?
I don't think I will support that, because after realizing that I'm a woman and apparently a second-class citizen in the country that I've grown up in, I have seen a lot of cases related to sexual assault, related to violence against women, being sentenced to death for the criminals who have been arrested. So I have not seen the cases of rape stop after that. I have not seen women being safer after that. So capital punishment does not seem like the medicine to all these problems to me. So I do not agree with that. I understand the rage. I understand that a lot of us women have to go through and experience a lot of forms of harassment every day that we step out of our house, or even if our own families, from the people we know and from strangers as well. But capital punishment has not proved itself as the right medicine to these these problems. I really think structural changes could bring that, not only one justice to, or capital punishment as justice to one case.
Okay, let me just put out a graphic at the moment. Rape cases disposal by courts in 2022. Just take a look at the numbers, because these numbers will tell you why there is so much of frustration. Cases sent for trial in that year were 26,508. Total trial cases 1,98,285. Convicted 5,067. That's 2.6. Acquitted 12,062. 6.1%. This is as per the NCRB. So Tanveer Ahmed Mir, there's a sense that even if a case goes into trial, either the accused could get away for lack of evidence, and it's only 2.6% cases that actually result in conviction. So there is pressure therefore from society, as Miran Borwankar said, even on the police, udalo. I'm using that word again and again because that in my sense reflects a certain desire for instant justice.
Any police officer, Rajdeep, who says udalo should be dismissed there and then and cannot be encouraged by any stretch of imagination. If Madam Commissioner said that I have had officers telling me कि इस case का क्या होगा बाद में accused acquit हो जाएगा उड़ा दो, she needed to dismiss that officer there and then and initiate a disciplinary inquiry against him. Well, let me tell you an example, Rajdeep. I defended Kuldeep Singh Sengar in the Unnao rape case. As against the order of the then Honorable Chief Justice that finished 2 cases in 40 days, we finished it in 32 days. Take any case, let's take this Calcutta case.
Did you have any qualms about, may I just stop you, did you have any qualms about defending someone like Kuldeep Singh Sengar who appeared prima facie and accused in a very heinous rape case?
Why should I have? I am a criminal defense lawyer. The society bestows the responsibility of defense on my shoulders. I'm supposed to defend. That's what democracy and rule of law is all about. In Calcutta case, if the police, are worth their salt, what they should be doing is immediately file a charge sheet. What do you require? You require a DNA positive. You already have a CCTV footage. You need a biology positive. File the charge sheet. Go for a day-to-day trial and, let the verdict be passed within a month and a half. Justice is served.
That's in what seems to be an open and shut case now in Kolkata, given the fact that even the polygraph test and the CCTV footage, the DNA test, the polygraph test may not have any evidentiary value in a court of law, but the DNA case, the autopsy, the post-mortem, all of them seem to suggest that they found the right accused. My point is, look at the numbers I put up. Only 2.6% cases are resulting in conviction. Naturally, there's anger among people. People believe that with good lawyers like Tanveer Ahmed Mir on the side of the rape accused, they will get away.
No, the point is, are the cops worth their salt? Are they investigating the cases properly? Are they bestowing the responsibility which the society put on their shoulders? If you are compromising the cases in your police stations, if you are not going on the sites and making maps there, if you are saying that we went on the spot, but you are having a cup of tea in your police station, I can understand. You see, there is certainly a problem of lack of infrastructure. Our sub-inspector gets a salary of 55,000 rupees. How many people do we have?
No, you see, this is now passing the buck and saying, the criminal justice...
Sorry, I must come here very strongly.
Yes.
No cop worth his salt in a democracy ruled by the principle of law can ever say that there is a societal pressure. Why did you wear the khaki uniform then? Were you worth it?
I asked you, sir, about the criminal justice system being dilatory. You're saying the police have much to answer for. I'll allow for a moment. Let Miran Borwankar respond to what you've just said, and then I'll come to Swapna Kode. Miran Borwankar, you want to respond? Tanveer Ahmed Mir says, look, first of all, this udalo cannot work in a democracy. We are a civilized society. Policemen cannot take the law into their own hands. There's a fear that could have happened in Assam. That's the allegation that is being made, that suddenly someone escapes from custody and drowns in a pond. The fact, though, is Is the police simply incapable of ensuring convictions in these cases?
So I take a strong objection. Sitting in the air conditioner rooms, you can pass lots of critical comments about police officers and policemen. Of course, we do not allow them to go free and to take lives of people. Police leadership stands by rule of law. We don't allow that. But I was just only mentioning that a policeman or a policewoman is a person. We forget that. We put them for 6,000 of them on duty, when we also expect them a very high standard of investigation, prevention of crime. At the same time, we are asking them to have a monitor women help desk, children help desk, do bandobast, do VIP duties. Please understand, you must have the international standard of 220 police stations per lakh of the population. Then you hold us responsible. I can say with full certainty that most of the police officers do best kind of investigation as per their capacity. But they do lose patience when they see criminals against whom they have filed strongest possible evidence go scot-free.
Can I for a boy? Yes, Tanveer Ahmed, you wanted to respond and then I'll come to Swapna.
That's right. I agree with Madam Commissioner that the government is not ready and willing and having the wherewithal, political, financial or otherwise, to provide infrastructure and funding in justice delivery mechanism. You see, the lawyers, the judges, the courts, the police officials and law enforcement agency, after all, do a very important job in the society. If you have, for example, go to any criminal court from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Ahmedabad to Dimapur in Nagaland, you will see every court, every judge has on and around, and that this is what I'm talking about, a trial court in India, about 80 to 100 cases a day, out of which a judge has around 30 cases for recording of evidence. If evidence starts in 2 cases, you will have 28 adjournments in the court on evidence cases alone. That is the problem that is faced on account of political non-will in not giving us adequate infrastructure. But at the end of the day, it's not a point. Even if we lack infrastructure, what is your will? What is your will? Your will has to be that we'll see in a case of rape. Rajdeep, allow me to say this. Why are you wasting your time on polygraph in a rape case? Is polygraph admissible in a court of law? No. Is brain mapping admissible in a court of law? No. Is narco-analysis admissible in a court of law? No. All you need in order to convict the man in this Calcutta case is DNA positive. Appoint a special prosecutor. Let me tell you one thing. I can give you a challenge on my side. If you give me this charge sheet with the kind of evidence I have in 15 days, I'll give you a life sentence in 2 months flat.
You're saying, give me this charge sheet, I will put the charge sheet in place in 2 months flat. In a case like Kolkata,
I will give you a conviction in 2 months.
Okay, you will give a conviction, of course, depending in the hope that the judge also will be as will be as obliging. But Swapna Pramod Kode, you're an advocate in the Mumbai High Court. Okay,
court never ask us.
We've seen.
Never say that.
Okay.
I'm to adjourn the matter by 4 months.
Okay.
Where there is a will, there is a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Swapna Kode, what has been your experience as a young lawyer there in the Mumbai High Court? Is there willingness for these fast-track courts to work effectively? Government is saying we've actually worked rather effectively in fast-track courts. Is that your experience?
Yes, sir. This is my experience. Courts are willing to work in fast-track court, but for a trial to conduct, there are 4 components: the judge, the prosecution, the defense, and well as the evidence from the police side. Let me just quote an article which has come in the newspapers in Samna and other daily newspapers on the 25th of August 2024, which states that alone in Mumbai, 34 accused under POCSO have been acquitted because of laxity of the police in the investigation. Taking recent example of the Badlapur case, the police, which has delayed registration of FIR by 12 o'clock, have conveniently manipulated the FIR, stating that the victim and her mother reached the police station at 9 o'clock and we have registered the FIR in in more than 1 hour 30 minutes, sir. It is not possible to register an FIR in more than 1 hour and 30 minutes when there is a statement of a minor involved. In order to cover their own laxes, it is easy to pass the buck on the judiciary. But considering, like my learned senior advocate said, that a judge in Mumbai has at least minimum 80 to 100 matters on the board. Now, many a times the witnesses are not traceable. Witnesses do not turn up. I myself, as a criminal lawyer, is stating an example. Last week, when I was in Vaizapur for a trial, the witness clear-cut said कि कहीं पे crime होऊन झालेला आहे, आम्हाला कशाला बोलवतात. So all components are necessary. Like our Honorable Chief Justice of India said that sit in my chair for a day and you will understand the pressures. We said
but
many
I want to put some hard facts. Remember these fast track special courts? It was a centrally sponsored scheme started in October 2019. It was set up for quick disposal of rape POCSO cases. 757 fast track courts have been set up till December 2023. Some states like Bengal have been lax. They've only set up 3 according to the center. Fast track courts include 411 courts exclusively for POCSO cases. More than 214,000 cases, according to the government, have been disposed. This is as per a government reply in the Lok Sabha. Rimjim, are you, as a citizen, do you feel that, do you have faith in the police, whether it's in Kolkata or any other part of the country or in the judicial system? Do you share the frustration that people have with these delays, tariq pe tariq?
I do share the frustration, yes, but I do feel that we have certain people put into places with responsibilities, and every time we do have to look up to them and expect a better outcome every time it comes to the question of justice. The entire movement which has started from 14th, I think it is powerful enough to put the pressure on the people who are supposed to be responsible to give us outcomes of justice, things that we can rely upon, things that we can see positively. And that is why I think
so are you looking,
we
are
only
you
have the
for
option
capital?
to hope that the people who are responsible.
But Rimjim, when you do these protests in Kolkata, are you looking for systemic changes? Or is it about ensuring that in this particular case, justice is done in the shortest possible time?
We are looking for justice in 2 things. One, of course, that this case that has come up and every other case that has come up since 9th August, because of course it's not only about one case, that's not how the statistics come to us. All of those cases need to get the justice that they deserve through the legal procedures that are in place, however the legal authorities would think it fit. But the other kind of justice that we are also demanding are structural changes, are the systemic changes. Because if we do not discuss about gender right from our school, if we do not have transport systems at night which are safe and secure, if we do not have restrooms, if we do not have creches, if we do not have ICCs, which accordingly after the Vishakha judgment came out in 2012, after the Nirbhaya case, which also made the entire country come on the streets and demand justice for Nirbhaya, the Vishakha judgment made us have ICCs, but those ICCs do not remain partial and they have not been able to serve the kind of justice which were expected from them.
It comes down,
so of course these kind of systemic changes are way more important.
Sure. So therefore, Miran Borwankar, it comes down to police reform, it comes down to judicial reform, it comes down to the will to ensure that those responsible for these heinous crimes are punished. The system seems overburdened. Just the number of cases per day in our courts makes it impossible to have fast-track justice in most cases. Do you see, therefore, any hope? Or will, like after the Nirbhaya case, once we moved away from Kolkata, once we moved away from Badlapur, it will be back to business as usual?
I fear that it will be back to business as usual, but I consider it the duty of any political party in power to invest in judiciary, police, very strong technical forensic backup and good prosecution. I also feel that we should have tools like in each district, the SP and the session judge can sit together every month and decide which are the cases which have enraged the society and should be taken up on priority and finished immediately. So I feel too much of centralization, that should be avoided, and rule of law should prevail, and we should not go in for instant justice.
Okay, let me leave it there. I think there's a consensus. We don't need instant trigger happy cops to settle these cases, but we certainly need a greater commitment to ensure time-bound justice in cases like this. Free of the politics, focus on the rule of law and ensure that the legal process is not short-circuited but is truly fast-tracked. I appreciate my guest joining me here on my top talking point tonight. And joining me now is Beena Paul, award-winning film editor from Kerala and someone who's taken up this issue very strongly as part of the Women in Cinema Collective. Appreciate your joining us, ma'am. The Hema Committee report has raised a storm, because it seems to suggest that the Malayalam film industry is seeing the kind of sexual harassment that perhaps for the first time is being uncovered on this scale. Is this a tip of the iceberg in your view? Or is there a danger of tarring the entire industry with one brush?
Certainly there's a danger of tarring the industry with one brush, simply because the Hema Committee report does not only talk about sexual harassment. It was appointed by the government to look at the entire industry, and it has come up with a whole lot of observations about the nature of the industry. Unfortunately, because sexual harassment is so prevalent, what we are seeing is now a kind of upsurge of this emotion. Women are feeling far more empowered. So I don't want to sort of think of it as a tarnishing of the industry, but a cleansing of the industry, because first of all, a lot of this has to come out, and we need to find ways to deal with it and not pretend it doesn't happen.
You said that sexual harassment has been prevalent. Did it therefore require a committee report like this for it to all come out? Was this one of the worst kept secrets of the Malayalam film industry that has simply come out because now the court intervention has forced the report to be made public?
Rajdeep, I would like to emphasize this is one of the best kept secrets of the entire film industry. I think across the world, perhaps, as we saw with the MeToo movement. But what the Hema Committee report did, and we have to give the government of Kerala that did set up this committee, is the fact that it was actually studied and found to be true. That was, it was not just some gossip, it wasn't only scandal, it wasn't something. And I think what has happened is that this, as I said, this shroud of silence, when you have a committee pointing it out, I think it has empowered the women. And I think this is a very, very important moment, and we should not let it pass with only this, is what WCC feels very strongly.
But what's happened so far is a couple of big names or a couple of names have come out and they've been forced to either step down from their positions or they've been named and shamed. Do you believe that, as I said at the outset, that there could be many more? This is the tip of the iceberg. There could be many more names, possibly bigger names, which are still to come out. Will this now empower more women to speak out?
We don't know. We really don't know. The media plays a big part in this as well, and there is a lot of attention being given. We don't know how it's going to pan out. We can only say that the women who are speaking, we support you. There are systems in place that will protect you, which will make sure that these things don't happen again. I think that is the way to look at it. Whether there will be more revelations, whether there are more women, one really doesn't know. But one does know that even what has happened now is quite shocking and needed to be done, so that you sort of have to bend the stick backwards to straighten it.
But what's interesting is a number of the male stars don't seem to be speaking out. it seems to be at the moment almost like a gender divide. Why are we not seeing some of the big names of the Malayalam film industry, the Mammootties, the Mohanlals? Why are they not speaking out? Is there a sense that everyone is waiting and watching to see where this investigation finally leads?
Well, you really have to ask them. We have been very vocal. We have said there is a report. We believe in this report. There are recommendations. We would like to sit across the table, talk about it, together try and implement. So why they are not talking, I'm afraid you'll have to ask them, because we would have said that, look, this is the time to join forces and sort of set all this right.
But when I look at some of the findings of the report, sexual demands for entry into the Malayalam industry, sexual harassment and assault at the workplace, torture if they resent sexual demands, demeaning vulgar comments made at workplace. You always thought Kerala was a step ahead of the rest of the country. This is one of the most highly literate states, gender equality. That's perhaps why it's become so surprising. Or is it because Kerala is so gender conscious that women are willing to speak out in a way they may not in other film industries?
Well, I'm not sure about whether it's gender conscious, but I must say that it is because it is Kerala that such a committee was set up. I don't know anywhere else. There have been numerous allegations made all over the country over the last few years, but it is only in Kerala that because of WCC this committee was set up, and I think it is because it's a literate state. It is meeting this head on, and we are really hopeful that this will be the moment for change. I mean, for decades this has been the state, and we've all known it. We've all sort of, everybody's whispered about it, as you can see all the women talking now. But whether this is because it's worse here or better, one can't say, but certainly because it is Kerala, I would say that we are meeting it head on.
No, but is it the Harvey Weinstein moment? Is this the moment where finally, not just Kerala, but possibly across the film industry, other bodies across the country, whether it's Bollywood, whether it's Tollywood, all of them in a sense get empowered to speak out? Do you believe that this could be that kind of moment?
Well, that's again to be seen. We do think it might or might not happen. Certainly it's happening in Kerala. But again, we would like to emphasize that it is not only about sexual harassment. A lot of this frustration comes from the fact that you're not respected at your place of work, that you're not given good enough facilities, that you're not treated as a workforce. So it's a combination of things that is happening actually, because, the allegations are sexual, as you can say, but it comes from a lot of other frustrations as well.
No, but is anything going to change then, these other frustrations that you speak about? I come back to it. Kerala is seen when it comes to gender to be a step ahead of the rest of the country. Are you saying that if actually what this is about the demand for equality, it's about respect at the workplace, and do you see it changing? Do you see anything really changing now?
Exactly. I do. We are very hopeful, Rajdeep. It is a moment where everybody, I think after this sensational period is over, I think there will be moments when we are all going to sit down together and say, let's change this. So I am certain that we do not want it to pass off with this. And I think that is the role we play as an advocacy group. WCC is very sure that it is not about scandal, it is not about shaming people, witch hunting. It's not that. As far as we are concerned, we respect the women who have come out and spoken. It takes a lot for a woman to come out, but we do not want it to end with just, the government has set up a high-level police committee. I'm sure there's going to be a legal action taken, but that is not the crux of what we are looking at to change. Because the only thing to change,
the reason I say this in conclusion is because when we saw the MeToo movement, somewhere down the line it got caught in allegations, counter allegations, trapped in sensationalism, and eventually did not seem to transform the reality on the ground. Do you see that happening in a specific industry like that of the Malayalam film industry? That this is not about Me Too, this is about, as you said, much more than that.
Exactly. That is what we want. We've seen the Me Too. We've seen how women suffered, how they spoke out, and it came to nothing. The men continue to work. Everything goes on. Life goes on as usual. Business is as usual. All the men who were called out are really actually working. We don't want this to happen here. We want it to be the moment for change, where we say that, look, there are going to be laws, there are going to be ICs, there are going to be facilities for women, and more women are going to enter this industry, which will finally make the difference.
Okay. Meena Paul, on that note, that positive note that you've struck, more power to you and to your advocacy group, and hopefully many others will also now speak out. Thank you so much for joining me. Women speaking out strongly, one way to ensure change. Get Real India story, it comes from Karnataka. It says money can buy you happiness, but behind the towering walls of prisons, it's not just money, but connections that might buy some powerful people happiness. This is what happens with when a photo of a VVIP treatment for jailed Kannada actor Darshan inside Bengaluru's central jail has come to light. He's seen with a coffee mug, cigarette, enjoying himself with gangster Wilson Garden Naga. Karnataka government has now said they will shift Darshan out of this jail. Take a look.
A coffee mug in his right hand, cigarette in his left hand. A relaxed conversation with a group of 3 people. This picture of murder accused actor Darshan sitting with rowdy cheater Wilson Garden Naga, co-accused Kulla Sina and his manager Nagaraj has now snowballed into a huge controversy. The photo was allegedly taken inside the Parapanna Agrahara prison. Another video accessed by India Today, Darshan along with rowdy cheater Dharma can be seen speaking to another criminal Satya, who is now out of jail, on a video call. Wilson Garden Naga, who was spotted with Darshan, is a dreaded gangster and a murder accused. He used to mediate in real estate disputes and was booked by state police under the Gangsters Act. Naga was also prime accused in 8 murder cases. Another rowdy cheater, Dharma, is seen in a video call allegedly made from the jail. Dharma is accused of murdering another rowdy cheater recently. He was also booked by state police under the Gangsters Act. Satya, who featured in the video call, was recently released from jail. He was imprisoned for a minor offence. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has directed authorities to shift Darshan and other suspects to different barracks.
But there is a lapse on the part of the officers concerned. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವರನ್ನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಯಾರು ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
State Home Minister M.G. Parmeshwara issued orders suspending prison officials and sought a report from the DG after India Today exposed the rot in jail.
Every point of time, there are people who head this prison to take care of this prison. It is those people the negligence happens. Like this incident, it has happened. So we will take all the necessary precautions. That is why we have suspended the senior most officers.
Sources say the government will move Darshan either to Belagavi or Bellary district jail. While the Congress government said that an internal inquiry was already underway, the BJP demanded a judicial probe.
सस्पेंड कॉमन हो गया, 10-15 दिन के बाद उनको सस्पेंशन से हटाने के बाद वो ड्यूटी में ज्वाइन हो जाते हैं। सिटिंग जज का इंक्वायरी होना चाहिए क्योंकि एक गंभीर घटना है।
This has not been endorsed by the government. It might have happened because of some local adjustments with the local prisons in charge or whatever it is. The Home Minister has already has ordered an internal inquiry.
The latest pictures of Darshan's bonhomie with gangsters has raised serious questions over security lapses in jail. Darshan is accused in the murder of Renuka Swamy, a fan who was allegedly stalking the actor's partner Pavitra Gowda. Pavitra, an actor, is also an accused in the Renuka Swamy murder case. With Anaga Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's turn from there to the latest on the situation on the monsoon. Rains are wreaking havoc across the western region of India, especially Gujarat. Several parts of Gujarat are inundated, displacing hundreds of people. Many schools in the state will now remain closed on Tuesday. Trains have been affected. In Maharashtra's Sindhudurg region, along the Konkan coast, a statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj collapsed at the Rajkot fort in the afternoon. The statue had been inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi just a year ago. This region too has witnessed heavy rains and gusty winds for the last 72 hours. I want to leave you then with our image of the day. Today is Janmashtami and India celebrates the festival. Lakhs of devotees flocking to various Krishna temples across the country to celebrate Sri Krishna Janmashtami. We wish you too a happy Janmashtami. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Hind. Namaskar. Good night. Shubh Ratri.